There's so much more to Sprung than just the performances and just the shows, and I think funding gives you the opportunity to create that. It's quite empowering, and especially when we see our input and our ideas actually play out,
because sometimes I feel like a lot of pressure, but knowing that we've been given that money and that opportunity,
I think it's quite interesting to see how quickly money can disappear. I think
it's a good life lesson,
because sometimes you will show us the numbers and you don't realise how expensive things are, and I think that's one thing Gabba's defo opened my eyes up to.
Where's the effing creativity? Thank you very much. I've been practicing.
Hi everyone.
Hello. It's lovely to be joined by such wonderful people.
I think you may be the youngest guests we've had on the podcast so far.
You are breaking records.
Yeah.
So can you start off by telling us your names?
I'm Lucy.
I'm Nell. And I'm Libby.
And we have asked you to come together because you don't just come to Sprung Youth, but you also have a very special job connected to Highly Sprung. Could one of you tell us a little bit about what your special job is?
We're part of the Youth Advisory Board, so we help the advisory board make important decisions, and we learn about the strategy and how charities work and all the business side of things.
Brilliant. And your input is very, very valuable.
Yes.
Anyone want to add any more about what you do as part of the Youth Advisory Board?
I mean, I think you summed it up pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, two of you,
Nailed it.
have you all been chairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what does that involve?
So we kind of pay a lot of attention to everything
We
that's
pay a lot of
discussed.
We're good. We're very good
Yeah.
at our job.
We're very well behaved.
Yeah, definitely. And we kind of take some notes and then use that in combination with the minutes to write a report that then goes to the big board, and they then use what we've said to kind of make decisions about Sprung.
Amazing. I mean, already you're using very professional board words like minutes and big board. We know that that's the proper terminology.
So within that, do you have any kind of say or advisory over what Highly Sprung do with their funding? And if so, what does it feel like to be able to have that responsibility to kind of dictate what the funding is spent on?
Yeah, absolutely we do. I mean, I think it's quite empowering, and especially when we see our input and our ideas actually play out. For example, in the physical fellowship, I think being able to see that every year is just, and spotting things oh, actually that's something we said, or with the theme, for example, seeing our ideas actually make a difference rather than you just listening to them and sort of shrugging
ignoring
it off.
you.
Yeah, but you never do.
Imagine.
And it's with the play days we did, I had a lot of input in the ones we did. Was it over summer?
Yeah.
We did them. And it was just really interesting to see all the different stalls and know that one of them was my idea, or I had a conversation with someone and I was oh, that's an amazing idea, and then it was actually there and physical. It was really cool.
And that was a big project, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Play Day there was one in the big park just down the road, which brought 2 days worth of play activities where the local community could come and play, do Highly Sprung games, do park games, do all different stalls
kind of
as well.
crafts,
Yeah, food available. So yeah,
Free food.
Yeah, pizzas.
I mean,
They
Mark
were
has
really good.
dived straight into the deep end asking you about your brilliant decision making, but that is because today's Where's the Effing Creativity? I mean, do you want us to do the title properly for you?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh,
Do
can
you
you
want to
join
join in when we say Where's the Effing Creativity?
Yeah, I think
Do you want to give it a go?
Okay.
Because we've dived straight into the deep end.
I do apologise.
Saying, all right, you ready? So,
Where's
the effing creativity? That was beautiful and perfect. And today we are really focusing in on funding. We're coming up to a really big week where we're going to try and ask people to think about donating to Highly Sprung, and we thought it'd be really great to bring you guys in to speak to us, because we know that you have helped to shape and think about how funding has been spent on projects like the Play Day in the past. So what is it like when you are approached as the Youth Advisory Board and told there's either a funding project that we can apply for, or that money's come in that we'd like you to help shape how it's delivered?
I think it's quite exciting. Scary because it could sometimes feel like a lot of pressure, but knowing that we've been given that money and that opportunity, it's really exciting.
Yeah, and it's cool to think kind of that we're sort of know about a project from when it starts. Like, it hasn't even become a thing yet, but just the idea that like there is a possibility of something happening, and being able to shape that first thing and then see how it develops into kind of an actual event, like something like the play day, where it's like we saw all the way through the process. Like, I think it's exciting to imagine what it will go on to be.
And what do you think the impact of that is on other young people or other children?
I think knowing, me personally anyways, when I know that something's been made or like created by young people or people of a similar age to me, it feels so much more like inspiring, and I want to take part in it so much more because they've created it, so why wouldn't I want to then take part in it?
Nice.
And how has funding influenced you or had an effect on you as individuals? The funding that sort of Highly Sprung have, and the projects that you've been allowed to participate in, not just organise as part of the Youth Advisory Board, but how has that funding impacted on you? Are you aware of any of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite interesting to see like how quickly money can disappear. I think I think
It's a good life lesson.
because sometimes you will show us the numbers and like you don't realise how expensive things are, and I think that's one thing Yabba's defo opened my ears up to. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I realised that a lot when I was helping with the play day, and I'd be talking to people and giving so many ideas, and they were like, oh, that actually might be like too much, or might have to consider another way. And I think it really like you said, like gave me like a good life lesson in like where money should go and where it probably shouldn't go.
All right, where should money go? Where should money that comes into Highly Sprung go? You can all answer. Should it go on just spending it on thousands of lollipops?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, business plan is sorted.
No, it obviously needs to go to like the community, and I think that's one of the biggest things with Highly Sprung, is that you're always giving back to the community and finding ways that you can bring the community into the arts, and I think that's where like the like foundation of it needs to always come from.
Yeah, I think making the arts accessible, because I think so much of the work that Sprung makes is like on sort of outdoor theatre or made that it's easy to come and see, and I think making sure that the arts is being invested in but in an accessible way is so important, because that's how everyone can experience it.
And diversity is obviously such a big thing with Highly Sprung, and allowing the widest audience to be able to see and experience Highly Sprung, I think is really important.
And I think you're a really big part of kind of holding us to account about accessibility and making sure that we are reaching that really wide and diverse audience when we come to you and we're like, so we've got this idea, and it's really great that you're able to give your perspective on helping us to understand how we can actually make sure it feels accessible, and especially accessible to other young people, because you are more aware of kind of the barriers to access that might exist in a way that we aren't.
Has authenticity as well, right? That it's not just two old crinklies
How dare you?
suggesting how the money goes and where it goes. Actually, you have that power and you have that insight. Excuse me, glad you're around. Choking on my words. You have that insight into what it is to be a young person. You have that sort of experience, that lived experience that actually
experience of a young person.
Yeah, that we don't have. Although our young people. Young days, young Mark, young Sarah.
We're going
was
into
a very
a
long
total
time ago.
dead end.
We saw that a lot though when you wanted to do like the team play day, and you were perhaps suggesting ideas.
Go on, Lucy, lay it out.
You were suggesting ideas that in theory sounds good, but we were like, well, if you're going to get like, especially young teenagers to try and get into like, or just even getting outside, like we were like, it's perhaps not the most like practical way to invest the money.
Yeah. And you're all members of Sprung Advanced Plus as well.
Yeah.
So have you felt the impact of funding on your experience as part of Sprung Youth? What do you think it's enabled?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind was last year in physical fellowship, how we were able to have like full costumes and like all the chairs and everything. And I think it's so exciting to have that sort of whole experience of performing with kind of a proper chairs and all our costumes and everything. Proper chairs. Our cool chairs. But I think like having that input into Sprung and meaning that we can have an experience of doing almost like a professional performance at a theatre and having a big audience, like I think having the funding that goes into that, we benefit so much from the things we get to do with Sprung Advance Plus. And I think if you're not necessarily in YAB or you don't know about the behind the scenes, you won't necessarily think about the fact that that's only made possible by the funding that Sprung gets.
Yeah, I think it created so much more of like an ensemble feeling as well, just knowing that we were all in the same costume, we were all like at so many points playing like the same kind of role. I just think it really enhanced the show so much.
Libby, if you had to say to someone who you know might be in a position to be able to donate to Highly Sprung as part of the big give, why would you say to bother? Because there's so many other things that you could invest in at the moment, and especially at this time of year. So why Highly Sprung?
Well, I think it just gives us so many opportunities, and there's just the freedom that it gives you to create new work and create it's just what you were talking about, like you see things like the costumes and the difference that made in the community around it, like just how much it improved the feeling of the show, I think. And even play days, like there are so many different places it can go, and starting in the YAB as well, we see that a lot, and we can
But it's not just about costumes, I hope.
No, absolutely not. No, like there's play days, physical fellowships. You can see like how many. The physical fellowship isn't just like doing shows. It isn't just our show. Absolutely not. There's so much more to the physical fellowship as well. With the like, you get people in with Motion House and Vamos, for example, and then when we did like little stands and stuff at the break times, like. There's so much more to Sprung than just the performances and just the shows, and I think funding gives you the opportunity to create that, I think.
And hopefully that has a big impact on you as young people and developing your confidence and your creativity.
Dare I say it, I think that the investment that funding has done has allowed the three of you to be here behind a microphone, which is quite a daunting place. And all of a sudden you stood up in front of hundreds of people at the Belgrade, and all of a sudden this is a bit easier. But also the ripples of that funding go on further. So those young people who watched you perform, those 400 young people, are inspired by what you've done. They realise that actually young people can be better than what they originally think is possible. And you know, it's that endless power of possibilities that funding gives, and you are part of that, which is you should be very, very proud of that.
I mean, that was exactly how I came into Sprung. Like, I saw the show at the Physical Fellowship and thought, I'm doing that next year, like, without a doubt.
Yay.
And then here I am now.
And you did. Because hopefully it felt like the doors were open to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. And Nell, you came through another funded programme.
Yeah.
Do you want to just quickly tell us about that?
Yeah, we had, I was part of the Coventry Young Producers Collective when it was first done a few years ago, and we kind of decided what was going to happen at Physical Fellowship and were behind kind of creating the programme. And then we had sort of, when we went to Physical Fellowship, I also, same as Lucy, saw a Sprung shot and was like, I need to be in that. So
Brilliant.
yeah, it was the same thing.
Your group created one of the biggest backdrops we've ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely, do you remember with the big sun?
It was very cool.
It was enormous, but brilliant.
Yeah.
And Nell is also responsible for the TikTok video that I'm still desperately trying to beat in views, but
so
I
bad as
can't do it. I don't know how. No matter how close I get, I can never really reach there. So.
And Libby, you've been part of Sprung for a long, long time.
Yeah, as long as I can remember.
So we're really hoping that investment over time has helped make you become the brilliant
Sarah.
person you are. So we're going to finish by asking you all to think about. Are we going to say it together?
Yeah. What's your effing creativity?
Have you prepared one?
Have you
I've
prepared?
prepared one.
Go on then.
Go
Lucy.
on, you start us
Okay.
off.
You can tell us what it is and a little bit about why.
So my F in creativity is foundations, because I think so many young people want to come into the arts or like kind of admire the idea of getting into the arts, but they need foundations like Sprung or good drama communities in schools, that foundation to actually progress and be able to be creative, because as soon as you've got that like stepping stone, you can just excel.
Love that.
Yeah, really nice. Thank you.
Okay, my one was going to be fun. I think so much of my experience in Sprung is always just a positive one. Like, it's always a fun environment. We always have a great time. Like, you make so many brilliant friendships, and it's because I think enjoyment is so important to what we create. And even though we're making work that has an impact, we're trying to convey sometimes like quite a important message, we still can approach it in a positive way. And I think that's so important for just teenagers in general. I feel like you don't necessarily get as much of that, especially in school, if it's more of a focus on academics. But yeah, when you're creative, you just get to have fun.
Fun,
And
fun,
it's
fun.
great.
We love fun.
Yeah.
Libby.
I'm hoping it hasn't been done before, but mine is freedom.
Nice.
It doesn't matter if it's been done.
It has been done
It
before.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's
Own
your
it.
F.
Own
It's your
it.
F.
Because I think the arts and Sprung in general has just brought so much freedom to me. It's made me feel free from inside, but also just sort of given me the freedom to branch out and try new things, and not just like in drama and performance and just sort of in every element of my life. I think just thinking creatively and with that sort of like critical mindset, I think has given me freedom.
I love that.
That's really nice.
That's really, really powerful.
Who else has done that one?
Maybe it's coming up
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah, perhaps.
So
Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
And hopefully people will give generously and their money will be doubled because of
Yeah.
the big give. And hopefully there'll be more projects and more adventures that we can all go on as well together. So
But
thank
thank you for your time. We loved having you on the podcast, and we're going to say goodbye all together. You ready? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where's the F in creativity?